It says here.
Wait. You said Acts 17?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It says, this is 25. Now it says here, neither is worship by man's hands.
You in verse 25, you said?
Yeah, 25. Acts 17 to 25. Mm-hmm. Neither is worship with man's hands as though he needed anything. See if he giveth to all life. Do you agree that God giveth to all life in the breath and all things? Did God give life to all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so look what it says, 26. And have made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth. What is that talking about right there?
And have made of one blood all nations of men to dwell on the face of the earth. Let's keep reading it, please, before I answer.
Okay, so, and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. Mm-hmm. That they, the they here is all nations of man. That he have determined their bounds in their habitations. And if anybody's in the audience, grab the text in Exodus where it talks about the Lord made Israel his inheritance, because this goes right with it. But look what it says here.
He made who his inheritance?
Israel his inheritance and divided the lands up, right?
Mm-hmm. But now, Israel was his inheritance, right?
Israel was his inheritance. Now, but look, you see what I'm saying? You talking quick, but you're not listening. Look what this say, bro. It says, and have made of one blood all nations of men to dwell on all the face of the earth, and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. So you do understand this talking about when God gave Israel their inheritance and gave the nations theirs, right?
What verse you at again? I'm sorry, I stepped away. You at
26. That's 26. And you know what, TAZARYACH? I'm gonna tell you something. I be seeing when you be doing your debates on cross the line, y'all be talking in the back and don't be listening. You better listen to this one right here, brother.
I've been with you this whole debate, brother. You ain't answered my questions. That's clear. But I've answered all of your questions with scripture, not my rhetoric.
All right, so look at this say right here. That they should seek the Lord. When it says that they should seek the Lord, who is it talking about right there, bro?
Israel.
So you just gonna skip over 26 when it says, and have made of one blood all nations of men. Do you know who that one blood is?
Who's the one blood?
It's Adam.
So Adam is the one blood?
And from Adam came forth all nations, right?
I agree with that.
Okay, now look what it says. Dwell on the face of the earth and have determined the times before appointed in the bounds of their habitations. Mm-hmm. So watch what it says. That who? When it says they who? It got to be talking about the nations that he made from one blood.
You said that they what?
That they should seek the Lord. So all these nations that he made from one blood, nations of men dwell on the face of the earth and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. It says that they should seek the Lord. Watch this, what it says here.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
If haply they might feel after him. Talking about these nations and who the breath of life is in, because I don't know how you get past who the breath of life is in. Look what it says here. If they should seek the Lord, feel after him, and find him. Remember, he already said, you should seek me, or if I'm not, that they might find him. Right. Though he be not far from every one of us. Look what it says here. For in him we live and move.
This is verse 28, right?
28.
Well, in him we live. Yeah.
And move and have our being. Mm-hmm. So everybody that's alive right now has what in them? The breath of life, right?
No.
Oh, woo.
Everybody don't have the breath of life. No.
So God didn't breathe the breath of life into Adam and made him a living soul?
Are you saying in the literal sense or something different? Like what I'm just
saying in the literal, God did not. Listen, bro. If you look at this text, look what it says. For in him we live and move and have our being.
That's right.
You're only living right now is because the breath of the chayim of lives that's in you, the breath of life. That's the only reason why you're living.
Me, myself, you're correct. If you talk about me, the breath of life, yes, in me. If you talk about a white or African Chinese, they don't have the breath of life. I'm gonna tell you what I mean. When you let me answer, I just want you to read all of 28, and then I'll explain to you the breath of life and why I say what I say. Because
it says he needed anything, saying he giveth life to all, or give it to all life, and the breath and all things. Oh my God!
You in verse
29.
Verse 27. Wait. You in verse 28, right?
28. Look what it says.
Read that, please.
And certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring.
Okay,
so
what is offspring?
Right here, right?
I want a question on this because you
ahead.
asked about who's his offspring, or what is the offspring?
Offspring is basically those who let's look what it says in the Greek. So what it says in the Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Genos, right? It says a countryman, kindred, nation, offspring, right?
You mean like a child? You can simplify it.
Basically.
Okay, so who's the Lord's offspring?
The Lord's offspring that we see are men who are in his image and his likeness.
No. You can only answer that with Exodus 4:22. Israel is my son, even my firstborn. That's his offspring. That's why when you see that in Acts, that's why I told you that's only talking about Israel. Even your breath of life, do you even know what the breath of life is? In the book of Baruch, in the Apocrypha, the 4th chapter, this is the book of the commandments and the law that endureth forever. All that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. When Adam was given the breath of life, he was given the law. He was given the instruction. So then he knew what to sacrifice, what not to sacrifice, what animals to eat, what animals not to eat, what nation to sleep with, what nations not to sleep with. Examples, Cain, sacrifice wasn't acceptable. Who taught him the law of sacrifice? Adam. When Noah went on the flood, he took 7 clean, 2 unclean. Who taught him the law of clean and unclean animals? When Adam got his wife Eve and closed up the flesh thereof, that let them know you only deal with your family members from that point on. So the breath of life is the law, and every nation wasn't given the law. So I'm right when I say that life is only for Israel, and I'm right when I say the offspring is only Israel.
You know why I disagree on that one? Because when you see offspring there, God says, come, let us make man in our image, in our likeness. And the breath of life that you see, if you look at it 25, it clearly states, neither is worship with man's hands.
45? You said 45.
Acts 17 and 25.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said for my bad.
It says, neither is worship with man's hands, as though he needeth anything, seeing he giveth to all life and breath and all things. Now, let's
but when you're talking about the breath of life specifically, even when you bring up Genesis, the 1st chapter, and Adam and the breath of life are 2 different instances. Mankind was given, when it says made man in his image, it's talking about the ability to receive instruction. Like what separates us from an animal is we can think. So we're not set. Well, some of us are like the white man, but he's savage. But we're given the ability to think, to take instruction, to learn, to listen. That's on the 6th day. On the 7th day, a totally separate day, Adam got the law, the breath of life. So in Acts 17, and I know it's hard, GKON, for Christians to fathom when they see all men, it's not talking about everybody. It's only talking about Israel, because you've been brought up with all men is everything, except when it says all men are created equal in the Constitution. You can understand that concept, but you can't understand the concept that the Most High only gave the law, statutes, commandments, aka the breath of life, to the children of Israel.
Right. So I think you sadly mistaken here, because if you look at the text, look what it says. I'm gonna reiterate it again, and I'm gonna read farther.
Right.
Have made of one blood all nations of men, for to dwell on all the face of earth, and have determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. So clearly, the subject matter is all men here, and all men who have life in them, according to 25. But look what it says here. Hold on.
Before you go, I want to ask you something. Would you agree that when we've had this debate, that I've talked about other nations in my breakdown, meaning like I said, like Ishmael get a blessing, this one get this one get that. You agree that I've done that, right?